Hey there, I'm Rune and welcome back to the third episode of my series where I try to fully combo through every borough in Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. In the last episode, we quickly and efficiently comboed through Millennium Square. Today, we focus on the third borough, Brink Terminal. Before we jump into it, let's quickly go over the rules again. In order for me to have fully comboed a borough, I have to hit all hard corners, billboards and vehicles, and half pipes in each level of BRC in one continuous combo. I'll only be using the skateboard for its useful manual time and movement ability, alongside this being a non-modded run using the vanilla physics of BRC. For those of you who don't know or are new to Bomb Rush, going a specific speed may sometimes net me hard corners on more obtuse looking rails where it looks like they shouldn't. So I will be either including or excluding these corners based on consistency across them. And lastly, some boroughs have separate locations locked behind loading areas, to which I can't keep my combo when traveling through them. So I will be adding up the multipliers in a borough's respective separate area to the final total if there are any. Now that the rules are set in place, let's get to our third location, Brink Terminal. Once you earn enough rep in Millennium Square, you'll have to chase after the Eclipse crew onto their home turf, Brink Terminal. This place serves as the end of the early game, really opening up the world around the player whilst having them put what they've learned into practice here. We have three major locations to work on: the general bus station area, the seaside harbor, and the Eclipse Tower. Brink Terminal does have a separate area atop this upper platform, and there's quite a bit of multipliers in here, so we'll be adding these to the final score at the end. To start comboing here, I decided to begin at the start of the Eclipse Tower. Normally to get here you'd have to enter through the bottom entrance via loading area, so I figured I'd start at the base of the tower instead. I begin with the first rail segment here and then get the 4 half pipes afterwards. I then climb the tower like normal until I have to backtrack for this one corner on this upside down rail. Once I got to the top of the tower, I fell down to the donut area. And yes, I know this area has a name, but I low-key forgot it and I don't feel like playing through the game again to figure out what it is, so I'm just gonna have future me editing this put it up right here. You got it? You got it. Okay, boom. I got the top section done first, and then worked on the bottom rails and half pipes next. I then exited the center by grabbing this rail on the way out and made my way over to the harbor. I opted to get the one corner that you get on your way into the control room first, making my way down to the rails on the first part of the harbor after. I grab this billboard and continue comboing until I get to this weird rail segment here. I had to do 2 separate rides to get all the corners here, one while holding left and another while holding right. Easy breezy. And with the harbor comboed, we can begin to start the main area of this massive bus station. I decided that the first part of the general area that I'd start on would be these half pipes that appear once you drain the water in the control room. But upon jumping into the pit, I realized something. Every single one of these half pipes count as a multiplier. Like, I can't just go up and down twice because there's 2 long half pipes here. I have to repeatedly go back and forth getting all of these half pipes until I get every multiplier that comes from them. The hardest thing about this is that you can't exactly tell what indicates a new half pipe and what doesn't. I tried to use these little lines and the textures that separate them, but it turns out that those didn't even matter anyways. So I had to do trial and error for a good 10 minutes to double check that I didn't miss any multipliers at all. I ended up swallowing my pride and did a completely separate run that came to the conclusion that this area holds around 16 multipliers. This wasn't difficult by any means, but I had to do multiple full runs to make sure that I was getting the exact same number every time. And if the damn stars aligned, we should be leaving this pit with around 111 multipliers. After I make my way up, I get all the multipliers on the rail around the pit and grab the billboards in one fell swoop. I decided to work on the left side of the borough from here. After getting these 2 billboards and rails here, I started working on this alleyway that one of the Eclipse girls have you combo in. Once I'm out, I take this half pipe and grab these 3 walls of billboards. Now, I start working on the overall bus area of the borough, opting to begin on this inner staircase here and grabbing the ceiling one as well. Thankfully, this area is a lot easier to streamline than Millennium Square. As soon as I got off one rail, I knew immediately where to go next. And Brink's symmetrical level design for the stairs here made everything very satisfying to do. No backtracking needed. I grabbed this long ceiling rail segment here and find myself at the start of the stage, taking this staircase rail back to the later bus station to grab one last corner I missed. I do need to make my way over to the sidewalk to grab grab these walls on this truck, this lone billboard, and a couple of rails I missed before I make my way to the final area. One ceiling rail ride done, and now I'm on this tiny platform. Grabbing all the corners here and half pipes are no issue for me as I make my way to the bigger platform. The rest of this platform is a cakewalk, full comboing Brink terminal with this final star rail. Star rail?
Wanna try my rose toy?
Stale rail with a total of 235 multipliers. We're not done yet though, as we still have the inner tower area to do. This area was very simple to combo. It's just gameplay as normal minus some backtracking to get the billboard path to the CD collectible. And after a few minutes, I managed to collect 33 multipliers in this inner tower area. Adding that to our current number gives us a grand total of 268 multipliers in Brink Terminal altogether. And there you have it. This challenge is just starting to ramp up, and I can tell it's only going to get harder from here. I'm already picturing how difficult Matan is going to be, and I can't wait for it. Thank you all for watching this video if you guys have made it this far. I also wanted to thank you guys for the 1,000 subscribers as of making this video. You guys are great, and I really appreciate it. I've kind of been having trouble figuring out what I want to do with myself as of lately, but I think these little videos are the perfect thing to keep me busy. And with all of you guys' support on them, I figured that it would be the best form of motivation so that I could keep making more. With that being said, sentimental stuff aside, if you guys do want to support me even more, I do have a Ko-fi that you can donate to. This is a great way to show support for me directly if you really enjoy my content. And all of these earnings will go towards upgrading my setup with better equipment so that I can make more of these videos professionally. So anything donated will be heavily appreciated. And even if you don't want to support the Ko-fi or can't for whatever reason, then I'm still thankful you've watched this far. Maybe consider leaving a like below and tell me something you like about Bomber Cyberfunk, or leave a criticism about anything I potentially missed or got wrong in the video. Either way, I gotta get started on working on the next burrow. So, until then, I'm Rune, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.